Hello, everybody. So here we are. We've been working through the 8 limbs of yoga, the eightfold path to enlightenment, to absorption, whatever you want to call it, or whatever works for you. And just a little recap: we've moved through the yamas and the niyamas, and there was 5 yamas and 5 niyamas. So we've gotten past the first 2 steps of yoga, or I'm sorry, of the 8 limbs. So the first 2 limbs of the 8 limbs we've already talked about. And those are more guidelines for kind of how to show up and present yourself in the world, how to navigate and kind of observe your internal environment and make changes internally so then you can change externally. And today, the third one is asana, which is what we do together. Most people have this misconception that yoga, what we practice, is what we do on the mat. And what we do on the mat is actually called asana. And asana literally translates to the word seat or foundation. And the whole purpose, to just sum it up, the whole purpose to do what we do on the mat is so that we can sit in meditation. It allows us to build strong bodies so that we can sit for long periods of time without discomfort or without pain, where our cores are strong so we can hold our torso up. Our hips are open so we can sit with a nice wide base to kind of keep us from teetering back and forth. It teaches us to link with our breath and to trust our breath, which is an anchoring tool in meditation practice. It also teaches us to quiet the mind, to observe our thoughts when we're in movement, to acknowledge what's happening in our environment without really becoming intertwined or distracted by it. So the whole purpose of our asana practice is to actually sit in meditation. And yes, it's important that we take care of our bodies. It's important that we, show up as the best version of ourselves as we can in our day-to-day life. But the whole purpose of yoga, and I've talked about this before, yoga literally means to yoke, to unite, union, to come together. And that's talking about the body, the breath, and the mind. And that's what our ultimate goal is. Throughout these 8 steps that we've been working through, the first 2 being kind of how to navigate the internal and external environments of yourself. Now we're working on strengthening and deepening our connection with our body and our breath with here in asana in our 3rd limb. So as you're moving into your practice today and you find yourself in a pose, we'll hold for a little bit longer today than maybe some of our past classes together. Pause for a moment and see if you can be in the pose with steadiness, with ease, without too much energy or too much effort. And maybe that means backing out of the pose, because again, our ultimate goal of our practice is to sit here comfortably with ease. I'm not rigid. I can hold this pose for a really long time. I've done it. And that's the goal. So it's not the most strict expression of the pose, and you're not relaxed and not engaging. You want to find this balance of steadiness and ease, which is Sitra and Sukha, which is a whole other conversation. So keep in mind that our yoga practice, our asana practice, goes far beyond the mat. Asana is just what we do together to prepare our bodies for what comes